Now, I mean, we build a lot of e-commerce websites. We do a lot of marketing work for e-commerce. And if you have your own e-commerce shopping site, you're probably familiar with what would be the three key, most important metrics for an e-commerce site that kind of relates to the success of your business. And they are these three things here. Everything that you do on an e-commerce site kind of boils down to the number of visitors that you get on that site, the conversion rate, which is the number of people who visit a site that then actually buy something, and the average order value, as in how much they spend on average. Everything you do as an e-commerce retailer is kind of geared towards trying to push those three numbers up. So here's an example. Take a fairly kind of small scale e-commerce site. Say you've got 5,000 visitors a month coming through to your site. If your conversion rate is 2%, that's going to get you 100 orders a month. Imagine that on average people spend 65 quid when they visit your website. You've got 100 people spending £65. That's 78 grand a year, which is kind of, it's not a big number, but it's somewhere that you might start from. If you then were to implement some kind of marketing strategy or do some work on increasing your visitor numbers, you go from 5,000 to say 6,000 visitors a month, your other numbers stay the same, conversion rate stays the same, average order value stays the same, you go to about 94 grand a year or so in revenue. Work on your conversion rate, try and get it up from 2% to 3%, not a massive increase. You go from that figure to 140,000 a year in revenue. And then your average order value, if you can keep those figures, bump your average order value up by just £5, get every customer who comes on your site spending an extra £5, and you're up to £150,000 a year or so. So you can see how these kind of numbers, when you can work on increasing them, can have quite a significant impact on your bottom line turnover. Take that to another level and say you kind of implement more marketing, you get more visitors, you do some more work on your conversion rates, get your average order value up even higher. Say you get yourself to 10,000 visitors a month, well, that same website owner has then jumped to £294,000 a year. So just working on those three figures can have quite a considerable impact on the turnover of your business. Even by only small amounts, even by just increasing things like your conversion rates by a percentage here or there, even your average order value, just by increasing that by £5 or so, and you can see the kind of growth that you can achieve by relatively small scale improvements.